Hello there and welcome back to Normal Guy Games. This time I've got an unboxing, and it is Darktide, the miniatures game from Games Workshop. I have not actually played Darktide yet. It's one of the games on my to-get list at some point, but when I saw the board game version, I'm pretty sure I can get down on that. So let's unbox it, see what it looks like. So here we go, Darktide the miniatures game. The box is, well, if I were to say the box is kind of cheap, I mean, it is kind of cheap. I mean, I get it. It's just a box for a board game, but a lot of the times we use these boxes to store said board games. But the first thing you see, obviously, you're going to see are your sprues, right? We have our Psyker here. And we got the Ogren as well as the other sprues here. We have our Poxwalkers. We have Pious Vorn. Now, Pious Vorn is a character you'll recognize from the combat arena games, and from Blackstone Fortress. Originally Blackstone Fortress. These guys, you'll know what these guys are. These are Trader Guardsmen. I've got a ton of these guys all painted up and ready to go. I'm happy to add more on my list, honestly. Why not? And eventually, maybe I'll use them in 40K. So you get a divider here, and the divider is supposed to protect the rest of the stuff from the sprues, which is fine. Now the sprues all came in looking pretty good, no damage, and as you can see, it definitely protected. It would have been nice to have some art on one side though, because I like to frame these. So anyway, you get your bases, which are, par of the norm. You get your cards, and we'll crack those open in just a second. They are a little bit bent, but we'll get that taken care of. You get your activation cards, and the other cards that come with it. We'll go over those as well. A set of generic dice, and it seems like Games Workshop is doing the generic dice thing for everything. And the last thing we get here, we get your rule book, but the last thing we get is the boards. Now there are 4 separate boards, and they're crammed in there. But once you take the plastic off, they're not as hard to remove. So as you can see here, the boards look really good. They're thick, which is good because we've gotten some cardboard here recently. It's been a little bit thin for what it is. You want something a little thicker that can take some abuse, especially if you're going to be, toss it onto a table or whatnot. The book and the instructions and the tokens all come in their own little thing here. But as you can see here, this is the tokens. I've popped them all out, got them all in a stack. Honestly, would it kill GW to include a couple of bags for these? I mean, obviously I'm a board gamer. I have bags. But so you get your activation cards, and it has all of the different models and the different units in here. You got your flamer guy, your grenade launcher, your snipers, the leader, the poxwalkers, all of your characters. You have also your equipment cards. Now these are going to be, some of these are specific to the character, if I'm reading this correctly, but there's a lot of equipment cards in here, a lot of customization options, which is good. And you also get your, if you look here, we get our upgrades. Now these upgrades are definitely, as you can see, Psyker, Zealot, Ogren. These are all for the specific characters. So your veteran, of course, is a Kazarkin model, which is fine. Now as you can see here, the character cards did get a little bit bent, but other than the fact that there is, as you can see, there's upgrade slots. On the bottom, there's equipment slots on the sides. You have your marker for the individual character. Each of them has their own icon. And you have your health bar. It has like a small blurb on each one, but you'll recognize these stat lines from Kill Team. This is just like Kill Team. So If you've played Kill Team, this is very familiar. You've got your attacks, what you have to roll, the damage, which is either regular or crit, and then any special rules for each one. And on these guys, you also have your AI, sort of how they'll act. Now the boards themselves are really nice. They look really good. They're printed really well, and the cardstock is pretty thick on these, which is, like I said, which is good. You want them to be thick. You want that to be rugged, so it'll last, right? So these are what the boards look like. You get 4 individual boards. They are double-sided. There are no repeats on the board, so they're each their own individual board, their own individual patterns and whatnot. And of course, as you can see, they're all in hex. That's it. That's the stuff you get in here. Now, just to demonstrate, you can see how flimsy this box is. I have no idea how long that's going to last to the regular wear and tear. You can see here that the sprues were poking out through the top of it. There's some damage. There's some bent parts of the boxes. It came in ripped. Right, if I had bought this from someone, I would ask for a discount because of the condition of the box. But this was brand spanking new. And again, seriously, would it kill you to include a couple of bags? I mean, come on. Who's going to let the tokens sit in the box and splatter around like that? So, the book. We'll have a quick look at the book, but I kind of feel like they used a really lightweight paper for this. So let's have a look inside. As you can see, the rulebook is it's got very nice art. It is laid out pretty well, and it gives you a sort of an overview of Dark-Tided and a blurb on Kill Team, which is kind of neat. But this game does kind of play sort of like a solo Kill Team, which is kind of interesting. It gives you a getting started, what tools you'll need, painting, it gives you examples of what they look like. You get your listing of your tokens and your boards and your cards, and it shows you what everything means, along with each of the different characters, along with their symbols and or numbers included or whatnot. And then it moves on to the rules. And again, the rules and the rules are laid out pretty well, but the art is really cool. I love the art for 40K. So it starts off with a basic overview. It tells you what's on the cards. It gives you key rules, and it shows you examples of different things that you'll be doing, different actions you'll be taking, examples of movement, examples of your area of effect and whatnot. And it goes on to show you examples of playing the game in combat. It gives you the different phases, and it defines what each phase means. And then it moves on. It moves on from there to show you, you get the prep phase, you get your battle phase, you get all your information here, right? It shows you everything you're doing, how you're going to pull your cards, what actions you're going to take. So this kind of plays out like Combat Arena, where you're drawing cards, and then whatever card you draw is the character that takes the action. It gives you all the information you need to go over this, including what actions you can take. Right, it shows you not only what actions you can take, but gives you examples of what it looks like on the board, which is kind of neat. And then you've got you move on to the battle phase, to attacking, to damage, and things like that. And then it gives you a campaign. So it shows you, it gives you a background as to what's happening, what's going on, which is part of the norm for GW games, and they do throw some lore in there on all their games, which is good. It's good stuff. Warcry, Kill Team, all of that has nice lore. And then it gives you a definition, or the definitions of the missions, the campaigns, the information you'll need, the keys for the mission maps, and it gives you the difference between playing a single game and a campaign game as well. And you get a number of missions in the core book, and each one has its own, its own layouts and even separate phases or whatnot. But it utilizes the boards really well. And as you can see from each one, there are different layouts and different ways that the boards are utilized to kind of make things kind of fresh and new, which is good, because if you're limited to just 4 boards, you got to do something to spice things up a little bit. But as you can see, you get 6 different missions for the campaign. And of course, the obligatory advertisement for Kill Team, which I'm a big fan of Kill Team. Matter of fact, I just got the new Kill Team box. But moving on to look at the instructions themselves, you'll be familiar with this if you've done anything GW anytime recently. The information that's included in this is, it gives you the base sizes, it gives you the layout of the sprues, it shows you how to put the models together, and as you can see, you got each individual. The Ogren, I will admit, the Ogren was kind of a pain in the butt to put together. The Psyker and Pious Warren you'll recognize from Blackstone Fortress, so that's easy enough. That's not too big of a deal. All of the Trader Guardsmen, same thing, Blackstone Fortress. They're pretty easy to put together, standard fare, and that is it. That is that's the layout for Dark Tide. That's all the information from there. Honestly, it looks like an awesome game, and I honestly cannot wait to play it. I'm excited to get it on the table. I've got a friend of mine that's really ready to play, so I'm gonna get it on the table, and we'll see you on the next video.